The use of the get method works correctly, but involves regular server polling. It's not compatible with urgent messages like, for example, an alert about high temperature. It would be better if Sigfox sends the data as soon as it receives it. This is possible, but the request must be able to reach our computer. In the case of a house, your access router acts as a barrier. It allows communications initiated by your computer, but blocks those coming from outside. Indeed, inside your home, you use private addresses, usually starting with 192.168.10. And when the data goes out, the router replaces this private address with one that's routable on the internet. So two things are necessary. The first is to know the public address assigned by your internet provider, because that's what we'll need to configure in Sigfox. To know our public address, we'll use a website like whatgivemeipadress.com. The second thing to do is to configure your access router so that data coming from Sigfox reaches your computer. For this, we'll use port 9999. All traffic address to this port will be sent to your computer. Unfortunately, the configuration depends on your provider. We recommend using a search engine to find out how to configure your box. The approach is generally the same. Configure DHCP so that your computer always has the same address in the house. Then configure NAT so that packets addressed to a port are sent to this computer. Once NAT is set, the URI to reach our computer will be HTTP. Then the public address :9999/Sigfox. We'll configure spontaneous message, sending by Sigfox, that is callbacks. So you need to go to the device list. This time, click on its name. The callback menu appears on the left. Click on New, still small in the top right. You get a form to build the callback. Put in the URI we just built to reach your computer. We'll use the post method. The content format will be JSON, and we need to build the data part by giving the JSON message format. We'll build a JSON object with two keys: the device identity and the message content. Sigfox defines the variables. These are strings with keywords surrounded by braces. When Sigfox receives a message, it will be sent in a post request to your computer. We need to run a web server on our computer. Flask, which we saw at the beginning of the course, is a good candidate. The URI path is /Sigfox. It identifies data coming from Sigfox. We received a JSON object with data associated with the data key. We retrieve the data, which is a CBOR message, and send it through the loopback interface to our time series processing program to format it and send it to bbutta. So we have the following architecture. The object sends CBOR. Sigfox sends it back in a post request. Flask retrieves the data in the post, that is the CBOR, and sends it to our process, which transforms it into JSON, which is sent to bbutta. Now, if you can't configure your box, you can also do this processing in the cloud. There are instances that cost a few euros per month. They have a public address, so you just need to configure the URI at Sigfox to send the data to the right address.